What's up guys, this is Astranox. The second showcase of Senya is here. I was recording a bunch of battles and I was climbing in RTA. So yeah, this is going to be an RTA showcase of her 15 skill ups. I changed some of her gear, chest piece, ring and boots, so she's got better stats. And yeah, I got surprised in a lot of battles. It was a lot of fun. She actually is performing better than I thought in RTA. Right, and I tried her in various team compositions, and it's definitely a lot of fun, but it's also she's very good, right? But she's got counters. Like there's some pros and cons. I'll talk about that in the video, guys. So, you know, don't go and start summoning for her like crazy. You should watch my video like in their entirety, because I might be saying like the hero's like good, but then I give you guys the cons of the hero, right, later on. So don't judge on the first few minutes of the video. So keep that in mind. So Senya, I'm trying her out with Lilias in this video, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of damage. It does catch the opponent off guard. They might not be expecting that much damage. And even if she doesn't have Senya, the attack buff, it still chunks the enemy. Like, it's really good. Look at Lilias, 299% crit damage that I have on her. She's got some bulk, of course. Immunity set is definitely recommended. I don't have good ones left, so I went with you know, speed crit on my Lilias. But yes, immunity is very powerful. In a few occasions, if I had it, well, I could just like remove all the debuffs they threw at me. So if you pick a Lilias early on in RTA, that's a cool thing, because the enemy doesn't really know what you're going for. Might be thinking, you know, he just wants to counter my debuffs, right? So now they're kind of scared. In a few occasions, quite a few times, my Lilias just got banned, right? So keep that in mind. Now, in this battle, this guy, I don't know his ranking normally. He's doing his placement. He seems to be pretty good, pretty strong, and I'm doing the combo. So I'm using auxiliary lots to push Senya. She's got the attack buff, so I mean she's got a ton of attack, 50% more than what she normally has. So what is it, like 8,000 attack? Basically, it's pretty crazy. So let's look at the damage of Lilias here. Look at this. Feels good, baby, feels good. I chunk them. They might be like, whoa, what just happened here? Yeah, and it's just the start of the battle. So, counters to Senya, right? Like, I didn't have a chance to fight anyone that brought a, let's say, a Roana in RTA, but all the counter attacks that you're doing, that's just some free healing for the enemy team. If they have a Roana, it's free combationness for them. So that's something you have to watch out for. Buff removal, guys. Like if they have a Bazaar, anyone that strips, that removes your buffs, it could be a Falconeer Clury, could be an Alencia. No matter who it is, you gotta watch out for that. If they are too fire heavy, you gotta watch out for that. Even though some battles I fought teams with 2 fire heroes, I was okay. Surprisingly, but I think I had like a Ruel, and I had like Aureus, I had like Barrier from Fawn Cecilia to help me out to stay alive, right? So here the Seal's pretty handy versus Apocalypse Ravi, and yeah, I mean she's doing damage throughout the battle, guys. Like it's not about that one super hard hitting attack. It's about dealing constant smaller hits against the enemy and putting pressure on the battlefield. And if you can redirect their attention toward her when she provokes a few different heroes, that's really good. Now I increase her effectiveness, so that means it's more reliable. I'm seeing a lot more provokes. I'm seeing decreased hit chance landing more often. But if I'm like pushing with herself with auxiliary lots and they have immunity set, of course that's not gonna happen, right? But if you soul burn the skill 3, it has 100% uptime, assuming it doesn't get stripped, the counter attack buff doesn't get removed. So that's really good. If you have those 10 souls, that's why I'm using auxiliary lots with the Guild's Ancient Book, so I can have souls at the start of the battle. And then I can soul burn herself and maybe another 10 soul hero, or I will just have my souls saved up, right? I will have my soul saved up and I can just do it again after she goes twice. After the skill up, 4-turn cooldown, the soul burn minus 2-turn cooldown. Very powerful stuff. And the damage is really high. The multiplier on skill 3 is surprisingly high. She's a knight and, well, she has very high attack. But her attack is high because her passive, her skill 2, gives her 30% more attack. It's just that you cannot land any critical hits. So if you get sealed on her and you somehow have some crit, or you get lucky to land a crit, well, the damage will be a crit and it will get multiplied by your crit damage. So it's something that the enemy has to be careful not to seal her. Now, a lifesteal set would be very good on her, I think. Wish I had a good one. I was, looking at my pieces. It's not looking good, guys. So that's unfortunate. And the Abyss stuff has a ton of crit chance on it. And mine actually rolled like garbage. So I was trying to craft some stuff, equipment conversion. It didn't pan out, unfortunately. So I'll have to postpone that later on. Now, I'm still using her on Elbrus Ritual Sword, and I was like, I thought today I would go and chase for her artifact. Maybe get a few copies if I luck out. But then I was thinking, let me try her in RTA, and I feel like her artifact might not actually be, a must get. And it's not something that you want to chase when it's not limited. Of course, you don't want to, well, it's going to be like a waste of currency because there's no guarantee. Unless it's the Powder of Knowledge shop, then you can guarantee the artifact, of course. So sometimes my opponents, they get surprised by the damage that I'm doing. It's a lot of fun just interacting with them. I don't know, maybe I'm not using the right emote, and maybe, I don't know. I don't want to piss them off, but it's just like fun. Like in the moment, I'm laughing, I'm having a good time. Maybe they're not having a good time, but from their emote, it looks like they're like, whoa, what just happened, man? Like, he just hit me like a truck. Maybe it's the Senya plus Lilias combo. It's really cool. A lot of fun. So here I was able to block their focus gain, and I was able to pick them apart in this battle, and I was able to, I switched my team composition throughout the battle, and I was able to increase the skill cooldown using my ML Lilibet, right? Designer Lilibet to increase the cooldown of Bazaar and of Ambitious Tywin. So that's really like sort of like won me the battle right there. So I feel like you don't need her own artifact because Elbrus is really powerful. Like, Elbrus allows you to not worry about the enemy focusing her, right? They can just do their things. Maybe you have a high priority target on your side that they want to take down. I don't know, maybe they're focusing on Ruel. They are going hard at it and they really want to down her. Well, if she doesn't have Elbrus and they don't have AoE based heroes, then she's just gonna get ignored. And it happened in a few battles because I just brought Senya in every battle, right? But I picked her at the end. I think there was just one battle where I was like, I picked her at the start because the opponent before actually picked Senya, right? So I was not able to, have that footage, and that's unfortunate. But the good news is that Senya didn't actually get banned a bunch of times. But it really depends on your roster, guys. Like, it really depends on who you actually have. And if you have some of these heroes that are really dangerous and the opponent is like, oh, man, I can't deal with this hero, like a Ruel, I have to take her down before I deal with the rest of the team, right? So it's something that they have to worry about. So they're just going to ban Ruel, but sometimes I'm throwing at them more threats. So maybe I'm bringing a speed option like auxiliary lots. I'm bringing maybe a Ruel. So they're like, man, which one I'm going to take out? I'm gonna lose the speed battle, so he's gonna get off his combo, and then maybe they're not too sure about how much damage you're able to do, right? And then you do the combo, and they're like, man, what just happened? A lot of times I try to take out their knight, but some battles Like this one here, I'm just sustaining, right? I'm sustaining and I'm just like, you know, picking them apart, dealing damage here and there, and I eventually get them to, I mean, leave, right? So it really depends. Now this battle, right? This battle right here, I'm taking it more slow. I'm not using auxiliary lots. So I wanted to try something else. I wanted to support her. I got healing, I got sustain, I got Aureus, I got barrier, I got attack buff from General Purgus. She can get attack buff from her passive, but it's random. There's 5 buffs. I'm not gonna rely on that. And you know, if they ignore her, there's no AoE attack hitting her, then that thing is not gonna trigger, right? But yeah, the good news is that with Elbrus, you can still have an impact on the battlefield. Now, counters, right? Heroes like right here, Spectre Tenebria, she cannot trigger counter attacks. I've been banning Landy because Landy is really cancerous. I don't like Landy. She's really powerful, and a lot of players are putting some of their best damage here on her. I mean, they build her as a bruiser, and she's really, really annoying. And that defense penetration, I mean, I don't like it. And if you're putting buffs on your team, which Senya does with her passive, then it's just helping Landy. So I'm just banning Landy now, and I can deal with Arbiter Vildred. Normally I just ban Arbiter Vildred, but I feel like the way I've been playing, I could have dealt with him, or I could just straight up ban him. And I feel like, if I feel like, ah man, I have to worry a bit too much about Arbiter Vildred, I'll just ban him during the ban phase. So in this battle, like I said, I'm taking it slower, but she's got counters, right? Like I talked about, like stripping, removing her counter attack buff. That's a problem. That's definitely a big problem. And another thing is that if they're playing with single target damage dealing heroes, if they don't have heroes that have AoE or AoE attacks, then, you know, they can just pick one of your hero at a time, and then if you don't have Elbrus, then that's it. But also, they could be using those heroes. You might have Elbrus, but then they might be using heroes that cannot trigger counter attack, like Spectre Tenebria. But in this battle, you know, they have AoE attacks, you know, Ambitious Tywin, Last Rider Crow, those are AoE attacks, can trigger her passive. And, you know, like, I don't feel like stacking anti-crit buff on top of her passive is needed. It's only 75% anti-crit chance instead of 50. So, you know, it's not additive, it's multiplicative. So I feel like you don't need it. You don't need it, and it's something, like, you don't want to worry about that. Unless, like, I don't have DN built on this account, but I feel like with DN it could be great because attack buff, 3 turn, you know, 3 turn long attack buff, and then she can strip barrier, and she can heal with Rod of Amaryllis, and the anti-crit buff. I mean, it definitely would help. If I had DN, I would definitely try it out. I have Shu. I'll try to have her with Shu, maybe in Guild War or some more RTA later down the line. But I feel like you only have 4 heroes. You should not focus too much on bringing someone that has an anti-crit buff. I mean, DN could work great, but like if they're starting to bring a bunch of Earth heroes, you're not gonna just like, oh man, I need my DN because it's gonna be game changing. No, you don't need to worry about that. And the skill 2 that reflect damage is great. It adds up over time. I really like it, and it's definitely like a ton of damage during the course of the battle. You see like the battle result that I'm showing to you guys, and yeah, I mean, I've definitely been liking her performance. But I have her at plus 15. I have her with pretty solid gear now. It's not God tier, but some of those pieces are close to God tier now. She's on speed set, and lifesteal set could be great on her for some solo play, right? She could be the one standing, and you could finish the enemy team. That could be fun, but there's better solo capable heroes out there, like a Fire Ravi. I had to ban her in a lot of battles like Fire Ravi, but I also dealt with her. Anyways, definitely a lot of pros and also some cons. You definitely gotta be smart about how you are picking her, when you're picking her. Pick her at the end. Let us know what you guys think about Senya in the comment section. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. If you're looking for an emulator to play Apex 7 on your computer or other mobile game, the one that I use is in the description of the video with the instruction on how to install it properly. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all you do. Peace out for now.